I can't expect people to listen or hear if I don't put myself out there. Right. I gotta be the one that's gonna do it.
He handled that situation with a bit of class that I don't believe artists these days quite understand how to do. We get that.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't go over my head. I still think it was trash. So now let's deal with that.
The streets ain't safe outside, man. There's nothing out there. So it's like, so you start moving like that, but it's still at the end of the day, I'm a lover and I want to be in a relationship, but everybody doesn't deserve that version of you.
I smile and...
How's it go?
It goes...
Well, man, no self.
Welcome to another episode of Icon Presents. Joining me today, ladies and gentlemen, from right here in San Diego, the artist's name is Wynn, is here to talk to us about his newest project titled Lover's Remorse, and performing for us his new single titled In the Morning. Icon Presents, Wynn.
Yeah, Wynn here. It's an Icon exclusive. In the morning, off that project Lover's Remorse, baby, let's get to it.
Vibe Pod.
Hey. Wake up in the morning, no makeup. Girl, you know I'm on it. Wake up in the morning, no makeup. Look so good, Chanel be your fragrance. Girl, you know I'm on it. Baby, pack your bags, cause it's time to go. Wake up in the morning, no makeup. Look so good, Chanel be your fragrance. Girl, you know I'm on it. Baby, pack your bags, cause it's time to go. She said she love it when I touch it, then I kiss up on it. I knock it out the first round, girl, I don't see opponents. Don't mess the violence, don't condone it, but I send condolence. I drive you crazy like this whip is stolen. Yeah, driving real fair like a Maserati. Put your seatbelt on, girl, and crash your body. Girl, I'm coming down, meet me in the lobby. When you give me head, can you make it sloppy? Wake up in the morning, no makeup. Look so good, Chanel be your fragrance. You want it, girl, you know I'm on it. Baby, pack your bags, cause it's time to go. Wake up in the morning, no makeup. Look so good, Chanel be your fragrance. You want it, girl, you know I'm on it. Baby, pack your bags, cause it's time to go. She said she love it when I touch it and I kiss it in. No time for crying, we flying, baby, our vision clear. She got a man, but I don't even care. She bid me diamonds, she straight from the mines. Pressure make diamonds, this is perfect timing. Face in the pillow, so I don't hear no whining. Play back these memories, girl, rewind them. She a Leo, but I be lying. Subtle kisses on your missus, but no disrespect. I run it back for your love like an interception. I'm at a crossroad like an interception. Closed case, no captain, no interjection. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Wake up in the morning, no makeup. You look like you just made with patience. Call me in the morning, girl, you know I'm on it. Yeah, Icon exclusive with Wynn. Yeah, check me out on all platforms, Love and Remorse. Let's get it.
And welcome, Wynn. How you doing?
I'm good. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing pretty good, man. That was awesome. That was awesome, brother.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Glad to be here.
Hey, man. I'm glad we finally got the opportunity to link up. We've been planning this out for some time, and I was glad we were able to finally make it happen.
Same here, man. Hey, God's timing.
Exactly, man. I love it. So you just performed for us the song called In the Morning.
Yeah.
Now tell me a little bit about that song.
Well, it's basically talking about wake up in the morning, no makeup. Mm-hmm. So it's like natural beauty, right? In a world where everybody wants to be fake and put on this facade, you still beautiful being you, right? So that was the idea when I first started writing it. And then after that, I just let the song take its course.
Okay.
You know, I wrote it the day before with my boy, shout out Outspoken. And then the next day I was like, I'm going to the studio to record this while it's still fresh on my mind and stuff like that. And luckily got it like in one or two takes. Yeah. I feel something for it. And so when I feel something for a song or whatever, I gotta go to the studio right then and there.
Nah, I feel that.
I can't leave that gap to where too many different ideas come in, I gotta stay locked in right there.
I feel it. You probably one of those people that have 1,000 different ideas in your phone, different voice recordings and different things like that you have on there. I mean, that's what I got. I got phones full of just songs. I went back the other day and I went through and listened to them, and I was like, shoot, man. There's some solid ideas. You got to do it. But, you're right. Strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah,
got to make it happen.
Got to.
Got you. So take me a little bit through your writing process.
Okay, well, first, I listen to the beat. And if I don't feel nothing, if I don't get captivated from the beat, I can't write to it. So I'm just literally listening to what beat catches my attention. Because if it catches my attention, I know it's going to catch somebody else's attention.
Okay.
Right? So I try to be very specific on beat selection.
Yeah.
And then from there, once I get it, it's like, okay, well, what's the opening sentence going to be? Because I still want to grasp the listener's attention. So then, boom, once I find that out, then it's just letting the song write itself, because I know it's in me, but I'm just trying to bring out the right words for this song, the cadence and all that.
Yeah.
So I get with my boy because we vibe pretty well. The chemistry is pretty well. And so we're just vibing and I'm writing. And then for me, if I'm struggling with a line, I know that don't go right there.
Gotcha.
I don't try to force it. I want it to just be organic and it clicks. And if I can remember it, say it again, oh yeah, then that lets me know, okay, that go right there. And so that's what I'm constantly doing. Boom, that's how I orchestrate my verses, right? Attention grabber. Can I repeat this line if it goes here? If it doesn't go here, how am I going to orchestrate it? And then just let the song write itself. Because I'm all about the vibes, good vibes all day. For sure.
You got any artists that kind of inspire you that you look at, whether it be R&B or hip-hop, whatever you're in?
Well, this day and age, I like Kalon for real.
Okay, who's that?
He's from LA, Kalon. And then I like Bryson Tiller.
Right.
Tory Lanez for sure. Party Next Door.
Yeah.
I mean, I like rappers too, though, because I could do both.
Yeah. Okay.
You know, so that's where the artists come in. I don't want to just be one-sided, you know,
right.
Not just R&B or not just hip-hop, because I'm a human. We have different sides to us.
100%.
So that's why my next project is going to be called Alter Ego.
Okay.
Because you're going to get to see different sides of Wynn.
And that's going to be more hip-hop.
Yeah, man.
Heavy bars. And
yeah.
You get to test your skills and see how you're doing.
Yeah, vibes, you know, catchy stuff, some toxic shit too, so, you know.
How long you been performing music?
I want to say like 3-4 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
What got you into it?
It's always been in me. I literally used to do it back in the day, but I stopped because I feel like everybody wanted to be a rapper, so it wasn't authentic. It was like, all right, well, you're a rapper too? All right, cool. Right? So then my cousin, he was starting to make music too, and he started getting a little buzz. And I'm like, man, I do this too. What you mean? Because obviously we family, and our family comes from Detroit, and they come from the era where they're singing, they're playing instruments, they're on the corner singing with their groups and stuff like that. So that's where it comes for me.
Okay.
And then so me and my boy DJ went to the studio one time, and I liked what I sounded like. And anything that I do and I like doing it, I get locked in. I just keep going back. And then anything you do long enough, you get better at it. So as I'm listening, I'm like, well, I could do this. I could try this. Or this is what I sound like. I just keep going because I enjoy it as well too.
Do you remember like a project that you would have put out, like, or that feeling that you had when you put out your first project?
Yeah.
And, you know, because that you got to have butterflies in your stomach and nervous and all that, because it's one thing to create something and just enjoy it yourself for the love of creation and the artistry of it. But when you're putting something out for the world to hear,
man,
then that takes it on to another level. What was that first project?
This one, Lover's Remorse.
Okay, got you. So this is it.
This is it, man.
I love it.
I'm presenting.
So you meant it when you said this was an Icon exclusive.
Yeah, it was. Definitely. For sure.
I love it.
And like I said, walk by faith, right? I'm joking around, but now it makes sense when we look back at it. Like, oh, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Well, I'm honored to have this opportunity, man.
For sure, yeah.
And I'm gonna love sharing this out with everybody. I think you have great talent, and obviously you have a lot of passion and meaning when you're writing and everything. You can always tell an artist, and I always say this, that you can tell the way that people approach things will tell you how serious they take it, right? And most of the time, if you don't take yourself serious, your audience isn't going to take you serious, and so you're going to find yourself you can find it lacking. but it's good to have people on here. I think I do a good enough job vetting people on the show where I'm like, I need you to take yourself serious, take the craft serious and everything before we just get you on it.
And that's like with me doing features and stuff like that. Like I don't feel the need to do a song with somebody that's not gonna take it serious. Because for what? You're just gonna make a song and then what? Then it just goes nowhere. All right, cool. We just did that, and then didn't like for what?
Exactly.
Right? Like I gotta like what I hear. I gotta like the image. And I gotta see that you're equally driven as me.
Right.
Right? Because it gotta make sense.
I got you. So you're doing the music thing now. Wait, obviously you have a little bit behind you in the in sports, right? So you played for, who was it again?
The New York Mets in the minor league system.
Yeah. Tell me how you think that experience there translates to your music that you do today.
Well, for one, just locking in and being disciplined. You know, because sometimes I find myself when I write, my mind starts going over here and I'm just like, oh, I want to do something else. I'm bored now. Right. But it's a different type of player. Somebody that's locked in the whole season, somebody that's like, you know, just going through the motions.
I got you.
And I don't want to be the type of person that just goes through the motions. I want to lock in and have an idea, have a goal, and execute it. So when I'm thinking of a song, I really got to tell myself, okay, lock in and let's stay in this moment. Let's stay present.
Right.
And then when I hear when I hear the results, I'm like, oh yeah, that sounds cool. But it's just that level of focus, you know, just being focused and stuff like that, and just being disciplined for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
It definitely takes a lot of discipline to kind of really to perfect any craft.
Yeah.
In that discipline, the discipline and dedication, that's always going to set you apart from everybody else. You have enough discipline to put the work in. That's how you're going to always surpass everybody. My dad always taught us, nothing happens unless you make it happen.
Right.
It's like, you can't just sit there and expect things, you know, oh yeah, I want to do this. It's like, all right, cool. That's a cool idea.
Yeah.
What you going to do to make it happen?
Right. And that's what it was like when I got released with the Mets. I'm uploading videos and trying to get seen and stuff like that. And I just got tired of like nobody biting. I'm like, bro, I'm tired of sitting and waiting, hoping somebody comes and discovers me or come and finds me and give me a contract. So I'm doing my research, playing agent and doing all this. And then I go to this profile, baseball jobs overseas. That's how I was able to go play in Europe, because I'm like, you know, I'm tired of sitting at home, putting up these videos and nothing coming from it. You create a profile. These teams in Europe, they're looking for foreign players. They look on there and they see what you got. And so since I had good numbers with the Mets, I played here, I played there. That's how I was able to play in Germany. That's just because I got tired of waiting for somebody to make it happen for me. I said, I've got to make it happen for myself.
I got you.
And so with this music, I can't expect people to listen or hear if I don't put myself out there.
Right.
Right. I gotta be the one that's gonna do it. Right. Hey, this is my song. Hey, my name is Wynn. Hey, this is what I got going on. Because if you never heard me, who's gonna promote it for me besides myself? Exactly. Right. So I'm not afraid to do the legwork.
Exactly. It takes a lot of work to get out there. What? You do all your production work yourself?
Like going to the studio and stuff like that? Nah, I just lyrics and just, you know, put the words in the microphone.
I got you.
But I got I'll say one consistent producer I work with.
Okay.
He's pretty dope too. Shout out Chronic, man. He did my whole project, man.
Oh, that's what's
and it sound good too.
Yeah.
It sound real good.
Okay, that's cool. Did you know him before, or did you link up with him through this project?
I knew him before, but because I'm so sporadic with when I want to go to the studio, I was writing a song and I reached out to the studio that I was going to at that time, and they weren't available. So I was like, damn, who's available that I can go to, because I have this vibe. I want to go now. I don't want to lose this vibe. He said, hey, I'm available. Maybe at like 6 o'clock in the morning. Hit him up, boom. Went there, recorded Used To, and I was like, damn, that's my baby. And just the way it happened, I was like, damn, that's crazy. And for him to get my sound right, oh yeah, I mess with that for sure.
I got you.
Heck yeah.
What's been your favorite part of putting this project together?
Seeing it at the end, like the end results. Because as I'm going through the journey, as I'm going through the steps and stuff, I'm sitting on songs for like a year and a half, 2 years, and it's like, I want people to hear me, so I gotta start putting stuff out. I don't want to just be a hoarder of all this music. I gotta get it out. So it's like, okay, well, orchestrating the project, I think that would be my favorite
my favorite thing because it's like, what songs I want to put in this project? Because I already had the title of it. I'm like, okay, well, what songs go with this topic right here?
Yeah.
And then once I put them in order and I listen to them, and it's crazy because the way I articulate things in one song leads into the next one. And I didn't know that putting it together until I listened to it as a whole. I'm like, I really did that. For real. Because I'm a deep thinker, so I'm thinking like, dang, I really put this song after this one, and it makes sense.
Gotcha.
It's like nobody told me, hey, put this song together here, do it like this. This is how you need to orchestrate. This is how you need to put it together. I came up with all that, and it all makes sense.
Do you believe that's still do you listen to music like that?
Yeah, I do sometimes when I want to feel inspired to write something new.
I got you. I was thinking about that because, I've listened to certain albums and sometimes you have different songs that, or different tracks and be like, oh man, this one does a great job of leading into that next song, right? Mm-hmm. And as an artist, you take the approach of crafting this project and you're looking at the entire piece.
Right.
The downside of that, I would say, for an artist or from an artist perspective, I do some music myself and I've been I do audio engineering. I've done that for an extended period of time. I fall victim to that mentality. The thing that I think that is, or why that's almost, I'll put it this way, it sounds harsh, useless to do now, is because everybody throws everything on shuffle. Yeah. Or they throw a single out, or they take a song, like they pick up pieces of it. Like in my mind, I could think of Kirk Franklin's song when he did the Smile. He did a song that I smile, and
how's it go?
It goes.
Well, man, let them know so.
You look so much better when you smile. Mm-hmm. And so you go into that song. Yeah. And so after end of that song, and then it's like all the music is going, and you hear the other artist, Molly Music, come in, and it goes right into it. And then you hear Kurt Franklin say, Molly, let's go get him. And then he starts the next song. And he starts, give me that love I can't explain. That extra piece that relieves my pain. The thing is, 95% of the time when I hear that song, I don't hear Smile and then the next song after that. I'm blanking on the name of it. I start off with that song. So it just starts off with Kirk Franklin saying, Molly, let's go get him. Exactly, because it's on shuffle. And it's like, oh man, it's one of those things that I feel like because we live in an age that people are able to pick and choose things so much that you lose the full craft of the entire project. Like I can think of a Led Zeppelin album where it's like it goes right into that next one. And I feel like it's a lost art. So there's something that came in my mind when you were mentioning that.
Yeah. And it's like, I like to think about it, but sometimes, like I said, walk by faith, right? Like I said, oh, I like this song. I like this song. I like this song. I like this song. So when I had 11 of them, I'm like, okay. Listening to it as a whole, it's like, damn, it all makes sense how this one goes into that one, this one goes into that. I'm like, I didn't even think like that, but maybe I did, but I'm not giving myself that much credit though.
When I start off, when an album first comes out, or it's my first time listening to it, I start off at track 1 and go all the way through. I think that's the best way to do it, right? Yeah, right? That's the way to approach it or whatever like that. Yeah, you'll have a single that's released ahead of time that kind of promotes the album, and sometimes some people will go directly to that one. But me, I start off at the top and go all the way down. Okay. I remember listening to what was J. Cole's Might Delete Later. Okay. And I was like, oh, okay, now. Man, that whole situation with that song and all that, like, I like this song. I did. Did you? What was the song? It was called Might Delete Later, or the song that he did through the Kendrick and Drake beef, and then J. Cole, because Kendrick was trying to shoot some shots at J. Cole.
Yeah, I don't remember the name.
The name of that song. I actually like that song, and I'm gonna be honest. To me, I prefer J. Cole over Kendrick every any day of the week. Okay. I know some people irritate me to talking about the Super Bowl performance. Yeah. I thought it was trash.
It went over your head. That's all that means. That's all you're telling us.
It didn't go over my head. I got the entire picture. So but it's bad marketing.
It's trash though.
Because it was the mentality behind it. So the the idea of the Super Bowl performance is supposed to be entertaining to the masses. The idea of putting messages and all that kind of stuff between things, that I put it this way. In my eyes, Kendrick does not deserve or need that stage, or cannot handle that stage by himself. He can handle a stage, like he can he can sell out arenas. I'm not saying he can't do that, but there's supposed to be kind of, you have so many different people and cultures and different things like that.
Right.
A lot of times you want to have something that's going to more so appeal to the masses. He has songs that can do that. But he chose not to do those songs. And he did songs that were more so based off of this current deal. And the whole thing was more memeable and all that kind of stuff. And I remember I was listening to this lady. She was a genius when it comes to marketing and business and all that kind of stuff. And she was explaining, she was like, this Super Bowl performance was a symptom or the result of people buying into the idea that because something is popular on TikTok and different things like that, that it's going to translate across. And it just doesn't. And that's why I believe there was so much backlash. Yeah, you have it's one of the most viewed Super Bowls ever. But it's also the way that people absorb media and the discourse and all that kind of stuff for it. But none of it is going to amplify Kendrick. The same people that were gassing him up about Not Like Us or whatever like that are still the same ones that are going to gas him up about the performance, whether or not it's true or not.
I think he used his platform pretty well. He brought LA together, because it's like, okay, all these up and coming artists, they want to get put on. They want to be tapped in with the mainstream artists or their big homie type of stuff. And I feel like he played his role and he did it right, because at the end of the day, he used his platform to get these messages across, because a lot of the times they think athletes, you have no say so in politics. You just an athlete, go run and catch the ball. We're still human at the end of the day.
But I don't want an athlete talking politics.
He doesn't. Okay, that's fine. But it's like he's still a human. He says a thought. He still has some kind of
100%.
100%.
And when I say that, I'm talking about when it's game time. The game time, I don't need any like political discourses and different things like that. Same thing with actors and all that kind of stuff. This is why it irritates people when you're going on a red carpet to promote a show and you decide to virtue signal some message out there. And it's like, oh, you're here to talk about, I don't know, Captain America or Shrek or whatever it is. This is not the time to start putting out all this stuff. It's like what is it? Everything must be done decently and in order. People will be way out of order with this stuff. And I think that Super Bowl performance is one of those things where it's like, yeah, he may have helped out his platform and what he does may be good for LA, but the world's a lot bigger than LA. The US is a lot bigger than LA. And so you have the biggest sporting event in the US going.
Everybody's watching it.
Yeah. Everybody's watching it. A lot of people don't know who you are, obviously, but that's going to happen with most artists or a lot of artists, put it that way. But like back in the day when they had Michael Jackson and if you had even Beyonce on there, that's a bigger name and all that kind of stuff. It's more conducive to the product as to what it is. I wouldn't want, like I said, I prefer J. Cole over Kendrick. I don't want J. Cole performing at the Super Bowl. He can't garner that stage. His music is not that belongs on that type of stage like that. There's artists that don't fit that criteria to be on that stage. And I think Kendrick is one of those things. And I'll be glad when we're past this phase and he falls back into that year or a few decades span, if not. Like he's had some projects that I like To Pimp a Butterfly and King Kunta and Be Alright and all that kind of stuff. Those songs I enjoyed those songs, and I'm like, oh yeah, don't you know we've been down before? Right. Like that's.
I would say, but did you get the message though? Right, and I feel like his performance was really just saying that too. Like the masses want you to perform these songs and all this, and that's literally what it sounds like when I'm listening to you speak. Like, yeah, you should have did these songs, but it's like, yeah, that's the easy way, right? But I'm gonna do it my way. I'm gonna do it my way, and it's all a game. And it's like he's playing the game on a different level, and he's talking about things that most people don't see because they're not on that level. So it's
I'll put it this way:
get in line, little.
That's when you're too obsessed with your own self. That's my way. You've been too obsessed. Somebody's been speaking in your ear, and I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about for him or somebody that takes that approach. When you have a like, hey, this is the job that I've been tasked with, right? Now it's art, so technically I can go in and I can perform my art in the way that I want to perform my art. Any way you can do that, and that is your right. But when you know good and well that you are niching yourself out, where you're saying, hey, I know people want me to perform these songs and people want me to do this stuff, but I got a message I want to do.
Right.
For the sake of the podcast, I'm not going to use the language I want to say, but I'm like, are you dumb? What? First off, that's a bad message to send out the way I see it. That's a bad message to send to independent and upcoming artists as it is right now. To put it out like that.
Why? Because especially speaking to independent artists, why?
I'll put it this way: upcoming artists. The reason why I say it's bad to do that is if you're trying to garner, or if you're put in a position to garner an audience, like I'll put it, and let me see, I'll use an example. My dad has a band. And when his band is about to perform, they're going to be going to LA later on this coming month. And in the month of March, it is March. Today's March 1st, isn't it? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Can't believe we're already through February.
Yeah, it's a short month.
Yeah. But when they're going through and they pick out songs and they're like, hey, well, what do we want to have as the opener and all that kind of stuff? The approach that is taken is like, all right, cool. We have what you want to do as an artist, but you also have like their songs, and they have songs that I love. They're like, we're not doing that song because that doesn't fit this particular audience. I've done performances where, like, I remember there was this full crowd, and it's various different type of people, but a lot of the audience was older, right? And we perform, the band that I'm with, we perform 2 songs. You see the crowd's reaction when we perform a song that was more so cohesive to the style that they know and they like. And then you see their approach or their response when you perform a song that's completely different and that's completely separate. You can technically, as an artist, we can do whatever we want, but you're going to essentially you're handicapping yourself, putting yourself in that position. And if I was to tell an artist, hey, if you want to stay true to yourself, figure out where your audience is and cater to that audience. But going onto the grand stage and saying, hey, I know this isn't necessarily my audience, I'm going to do this. And then anybody that bothered me the most was the backlash that people were getting when they said they didn't like the performance. I have friends that were being called racist and everything like that and saying, nah, it's because you don't like black people. And the message was about the black experience and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, you know what? That is some of the dumbest stuff I could have ever heard. Because that has nothing, if I'm observing art and I say, I'm not feeling that. Does not necessarily make me racist for not enjoying that piece of media.
We might have to agree to disagree on this one, brother.
Why is that?
Because I just feel like him using his platform, right, to, I don't even want to say to push an agenda, but just to
that's what he was doing.
Use freedom of speech, right? Because it's like, you say the black experience, it's like, we understand what's going on out here, but it's like, oh, just because you're an artist, you can't have a say-so. Just because you're an athlete, you can't have a say-so. We're still human at the end of the day. We still go through the same struggles that some other people are going through. So I can't say nothing. I can see an issue, but I can't say nothing about it just because of...
Nobody's saying you can't say anything
right?
about
But it's not the right time or right place to say it?
No.
That's basically what the whole thing was about. Uncle Sam was saying, hey, don't play that song, play this one. Hey, you know what?
Nobody said, okay.
Get in line.
Hold on. No. What it was people have their stuff that they like. That's the thing. You have people Like I said, there's Kendrick songs that I like.
Mm-hmm.
When I was going back when Swimming Pools was, that hot track that they couldn't stop.
Oh yeah,
it.
that was fire.
Yeah, I remember I was in the swimming pool and I'd stand outside exactly. I was sitting there in front of the swimming pool, sitting there. I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna do my Kendrick." I literally called my dad the Kendrick, and I would just turn around and start singing the song. Like, I'm not saying that I don't like Kendrick's music, right? But you understand. Like, if I were to watch a performance, I'm like, "Yo, this performance ain't it." This is like, yeah, your messaging and all that kind of stuff. You can feel whatever you want to feel, but you are here at the bottom line. What you were paid to do was to come on and put on an entertaining performance. And if the people that you were performing for did not enjoy your performance, the ones that you were paid to do,
there's something wrong with society.
No, you can't blame it on society.
It is.
You can't blame it on society.
No, because people are asleep, man.
You have to be accountable.
Yeah, but people are asleep. So a lot of these things went over people's head. They had to. Hey, what was it about? What was it about?
Everybody says things are go over people's heads, right? We just established, I understand that it was talking about the Black experience and the different struggles and all that kind of stuff. We get that. I just didn't go over my head. I still think it was trash. So now let's deal with that. Okay, so now that we've gotten past the part that, hey, it's not because you didn't get it. So why didn't you think it was trash? Why did I still think it was trash? Because it still lacked the key fundamental part, and that was the entertaining part. And that was for me. Now, some people, you could have found it entertaining. It is what it is. But I did not find it entertaining. And matter of fact, it came off a bit pretentious, and it's annoying because people that have you have these people that want to grandstand and they want to take these opportunities where it's like, hey, like you were saying, because I'm an artist, I can't say what I want to say. I have to shut up and dribble or whatever it is. Not necessarily, but everything does not need to be politicized, and every moment does not need to be taken to put out some type of message. You have an audience. You have an opportunity to appeal to so many people. But if you niche yourself down, there are so many ways. I was watching Get On Up the other day, and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this. One of my favorite movies is Get On Up. The movie is really good. The makeup doesn't hold up as much as I thought. There's some of that stuff. Have you ever watched it?
Never even.
But you get on so that you got to change that. We got to change that. I know Black History Month is over, but it should still be on Peacock.
That's American history, actually.
Yes, very true, very true. But my point being is that it's part of the Black History section of Peacock. that's the point,
right?
But. So it's with you know who Chadwick Boseman is, right?
No, I'm not into.
You got the nerve to sit here and tell me about the Black experience, and you don't know who Chadwick Boseman is?
Oh,
the Black Panther.
Oh yeah, okay.
Come on, man.
I don't know his name though. I know him by his face. I don't be researching him. Even with baseball and stuff, right? You would think me playing a professional sport and stuff. Who's your favorite team? It's like, bro, I've been just so conditioned to just train. I'm trying to make it myself. I don't have time to worry about the history. Like, yeah, I know the history about baseball and the racism and stuff like that. But I've just been so locked in of like, I'm putting my work in because I'm trying to make it. I'm trying to make it. What I got to do to make it? I can't be worrying about, what happened over here or what happened over there. And maybe that's my own personal issue.
I get it.
Because some people, when fanatics, they know the history of sports and stuff.
Yeah.
But me, I'll be like, I've just been busy playing and grinding, and that's all I know.
I get it. I get that 100%. I'm the same way when it comes to music or artists and all that kind of stuff. There's a cap that I stopped.
Yeah.
But real quick, going back to my point about Get On Up. Watch Get On Up. That's the James Brown story.
Okay.
And so, I think that is one of my favorite movies. I really enjoyed that movie. But the one of the things that popped off in that movie was the death of Martin Luther King, and the reactions and all that kind of stuff, riots and the things that he dealt with in that movie. Right? There's a scene where he says he's on stage. And he was talking. And it was funny because, well, actually go back real quick. There's a scene in there where he's on a plane and he says that he wants to talk, or like people were trying to call him out because he was going to go meet with the president. And he was like, okay, So basically, he was getting backlash from both sides, right? You got black people telling him he's a sellout and a coon and all that kind of stuff for going to go talk with the president. Now he's trying to go talk to, help people out. But, people are going to like attack him and all that kind of stuff. And it's exactly, you have those two various sides of the thing for that. And then it goes into the performance that he does later on, and he's on stage and, everybody's on edge because they're like, hey, there's been some riots, there's been some things going on, and we don't know what's about to go on at this concert. Especially you got all those thousands of people and all that kind of stuff. So the cops are sitting there, they got the dogs there and all that stuff. And he's performing and people start jumping up on stage and doing all this kind of stuff. That's crazy.
Wow.
And there's a moment where he talks and addresses the audience because the police starts like shoving people back off stage and all that kind of stuff. People start trying to fight and everything. So people started getting rowdy. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. And one of the funniest things, me and my wife were sitting there watching this when he says, ain't we black? He's like, yeah. He was like, man, you better act like you got some sense.
Right.
And then he starts saying, he elaborates with that, but his overall messaging and everything with it was about the strength in the community and all that, and the way that you can approach things and the way that you deal with different situations and injustices and all that kind of stuff with it. But I think there was a great time. It was like, hey, he handled that situation with a bit of class that I don't believe artists these days quite understand how to do. And I think that's ultimately my point when it comes to a lot of artists and entertainers and all that stuff. When it comes to it, sometimes they learn. Sometimes they don't. And we see that. We see that with box office flops. We see this when tickets are down. We see this by audience responses to this media or to that to that product. You see that. And to take it and take the approach of saying, well, it's the issue with those people or the society or whatever like that. When you're trying to appeal to masses of people, the idea of putting in something that may not appeal or a lot of people may disagree with or may not just connect with a lot of people, you're causing yourself to flop in a sense. That's the way I see it.
Okay.
I knew we were going to have a disagreement on the Kendrick thing. I knew it because there's a good amount of people that I unfollowed one guy because he did this whole skit and he started telling people they were racist, and I was like, okay, now that's just stupid.
That's doing too much.
Yeah, I'm like, all right, yeah, now you're just stupid. I just got to turn that off. But I wanted to kind of talk about that because it was going to leave me, and we took a little bit more time on that, but that's fine. I wanted to talk about your approach when it comes to writing, to your music and everything like that. Like you have your first project, which is kind of more so R&B inspired and all that. But when you're writing and you're taking your approach to thinking about, hey, this is who I'm going, who it's going out to. But you want your stuff to live or your art to live longer, right? To have a life of its own, right? Typically for that. Do you have any messages or approaches that you're like, hey, I'm looking to inspire people or I'm looking to do anything with your music?
So right now, I feel like I'm in the process of I want them to just get to know me first. Mm-hmm. Get to know me and see who I am as an artist.
And who is that?
It's Wynn. So I'm a lover. I'm somebody that's driven. I'm obviously somebody that's been hurt, that's been on the other side of it where, okay, well, this chick played me, so I'm going to be thinking about myself now moving forward. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to put myself all in because what I'm seeing outside is the streets ain't safe outside, man. There's nothing out there. So it's like, so you start moving like that, but it's still at the end of the day, I'm a lover and I want to be in a relationship, but everybody doesn't deserve that version of you. Yeah. And then you don't know that until you get to know them. Mm-hmm. So when you get to know them and then you build them soul ties because you guys are having sex or whatever like that, then it makes it harder for y'all to walk away. Mm-hmm. So now you're running through these red flags and now you're dealing with situations you probably shouldn't even be dealing with if you would have just cut it off from the beginning. So you're going to see that side of me as well. And so now once you get to the end of my album, it's going to be a whole different version where it's like, all right, now I'm just thinking about me now and just having fun and just me popping my shit. But for this specific album, I was thinking, how do I want to orchestrate it? Do I want to start off slow the whole way or do I want to come off up tempo the whole way, or do I want to mix it up? So it's like, okay, well, like I said again, when I was orchestrating it, that was like in the back of my head. And then when I listen to it as a whole, it's like I start off storytelling, you know, and then as it progresses, you can see what I've been through. And then as it progresses, you can see the player in me because of what I've been through. I've been hurt before. Now I'm cold-hearted. Now it's like I'm turning up now. And that's me, because it's like I'm not going to be afraid to speak my truth.
Right.
You know? And for me, when I'm dealing with somebody, I always do self-reevaluation, because when I walk away from a situation, I want to know that, did I do something to cause our breakup, or was it not me? I need to know. And I don't want it to be me. Yeah. So I'm always trying to find creative ways to make it work. And sometimes shit don't even supposed to work out.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? And then it's like, you're going to see that. And I know I've been through it. And when I talk to people, they've been through it too. So I'm like, I'm not the only one. That's crazy. But I'm going to talk about it on a beat and make it sound cool.
I got you.
Because we all been there before. Nobody's perfect, you know? So
100%.
So yeah.
I got you. So yeah, I get that, man. You're taking a lot of life experiences, and obviously when it comes to relationships and love and connections with other human beings, man, that stuff leaves a lasting imprint on you, and it shapes the way that we are as human beings. Every interaction that we have, every story that's told, you can always there's so many times I never forget that I've heard so many stories with veterans, right? And veterans are some of the most interesting people for me to sit down and talk with. Actually, I'm planning on starting a podcast. I'm not going to host a show, but I'm going to produce a show that is just going to be veterans, and they're just telling various stories. I had one guy tell me, share a story of how he was, how they were ambushed, and and he had all of they got bombs going off and all that, and how he has his buddies dropping right next to him.
That's crazy.
And he's like, he gets hurt, so he's down, and they come to kind of make sure that the enemy comes to kind of make sure that he's down, and he has to sit there and try to cover himself up with his buddies' bodies as Damn. And they're going through Pearson stuff, and he's like, man, this is crazy. To the point where they stab him, and he couldn't move, he couldn't react. Otherwise, they would have known that he was still alive. And when he told me that story, I was like, yo, that's wild. And he showed me the puncture wound and all that kind of stuff. Damn. He was sitting there, and he had his hat on, and his veteran's hat on, and all that kind of stuff. He was missing a leg and a couple of fingers and all that stuff. And I'm like, dude.
You could do some stuff.
Dude, but it's one of those things I brought that up just to share those stories, and the way that that interaction that I have with him, man, that implanted something in me when I talk with these veterans and all that stuff. And same thing with relationships. You learn so much through everybody's experiences that you don't necessarily have to go through everything yourself. Yeah. You can just listen to somebody else. Yeah. Yep. All right. So tell the people, where can they find you?
If y'all looking for me, y'all can find me on Instagram at Wednesday, WYNNSDAY 619. That's how you can find me.
Okay. And where can they get your newest project?
Apple Music. It's on all platforms. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, Pandora. I'm trying to get it on the radio right now. Since today go doing numbers. Come on, talk to me nice.
Awesome. Well, it's been great talking with you, man.
Yes, sir.
And I guess we will have to agree to disagree on that.
Yeah, sure, man.
But I don't know. I might have to just take out some time to show you some real music or something like that. I'm messing. All right, man.
Listen to the album, man. That's some real music right there.
Yes, man. Awesome. So with that being said, thank you again.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining me for another episode of the Icon Presents podcast. Man, be sure to check out Wynn, check out his music, check out his Instagram and everything that he has going on. It's been such a great conversation, man. Check out iconpresentspodcast.com. Be sure to catch up with especially Vince. We're heading over to WonderCon and various things. We'll be in Vegas later on in the year. So I'm looking forward to connecting with so many more creatives and different projects. This is such an awesome opportunity. Thank you guys so much for your support. Y'all take care.